Hi, I'm Laycie McLean, and I'm an editor on Group's VBS team, and I have been a part of that team since 2013. This year at Crave VBS, or for Crave VBS, I got to write preschool games, the snack manual, and then this year I got to dip my toes for the first time into writing the Imagination Station manual. What was really fun is I do have a little bit of a background just in sciencey stuff. I was a sciencey nerd as a kid and just love to know how things work and why. I see so much of God's fingerprints in science and in the processes and systems in the natural world and within us that He put in place. And I think it's such a cool thing to illuminate that for kids. So I poured a lot of that into Imagination Station. A lot of the filters that I used and that our team has kind of established over the years for creating the experiences in Imagination Station include, and particularly important this year, was to limit food waste. So if we do use a little bit of food to kind of explore, because food is so sensory, right? And we want to engage the senses in particular in Imagination Station. So we are very careful to limit food waste. So that's a huge filter. Second is, again, to make it a very sensory experience. We look for ways to do that so it's very active, and we've discovered over the years, and there's loads of research behind how when you do engage the senses, that learning sticks. So it makes what they learn in Imagination Station incredibly memorable. We also are very careful and watchful about food sensitivities, whether it's allergies, actual diagnosed allergies, or even just food sensitivities or preferences. We try to be really mindful of that. And again, super important, particularly this year in Crave. So we're very watchful of that. And then another filter that we always really apply to all of our manuals is to offer tips and suggestions for ways to modify for your context. We know that it's such a vast and varied setting for everyone in their ministry. The kids that you're ministering to, the families you're engaged with, it's all going to look different depending on where we're at. So we're very conscious and careful to try to bake in as many tips and ideas that we can think of to help you tweak things if you need to for your context, and to just make sure that there's flexibility. So another hat or a role that I have just in my personal life is I am a mom of a kiddo who is diagnosed with a severe peanut allergy, and she also has a couple others. So when my daughter, I'll call her C here, when C was diagnosed with her peanut allergy, she was about a year old. That one is severe. It's life-threatening. We have to carry EpiPens, and we have to keep an EpiPen at school and after-school care. So it's a big part of our lives. And so I've lived in that world now for quite some time, and just can fully understand and empathize with anybody living in that world too. It's quite a thing when you get that diagnosis. So if you have concerns about kids with food allergies attending Crave, or like as you're kind of chewing on your options and making your decision about VBS for next year, and you're thinking about, and you're maybe concerned about those kids in your world, your orbit, your ministry that have food allergies. First of all, I want to genuinely thank you. When I put my mom hat on, mom of my kiddo who has a severe peanut allergy, I can't thank you enough that you care and are mindful and are looking out for those kids. It's so huge. I can't really put into words what it means to me as a parent when I know that people are out there looking out for the kids with food allergies. So my daughter loved the theme. She really did. And I can tell you that she would tell me if she didn't. Especially when it comes to the food allergy thing, and I had asked her about that. I definitely wondered about that myself. If this theme would feel safe to her, if she would walk in and be like, I wonder what's gonna go on here. But she never felt unsafe. She never felt left out. So one thing that she immediately latched onto is the visuals of Crave reminded her a lot of one of her favorite YouTube content creators. This content creator leans very heavily into kind of cartoonish, whimsical, fun plays on food. She does a lot of stuff with like squishies that look like food. And immediately my daughter just made that connection and felt like the environment felt familiar, felt relevant. It's stuff that she's seeing in kid world. She felt like she was surrounded by something that she's seeing elsewhere. It felt fun and recognizable. So my daughter never felt uncomfortable, but she also never felt uncomfortably in the spotlight. Sometimes that can happen for kids with food allergies, and she's definitely experienced that more than once. She didn't have that at Crave VBS, which I thought was so wonderful. We're very mindful in the way that we approach snacks, and even just the whole theme with any ties that we made to food. We were just careful about that to make sure that kids that do have that difference, that have food restrictions, didn't feel like they stuck out. So a really cool way that we kind of put that into practice this year at Crave to help kids that need that modification to not feel so singled out is there is a snack option this year where kids will get to dip strawberries in either Nutella, which granted, if kids have a tree nut allergy, which we did have some at field test, and my daughter, we avoid that one as well. Her crew couldn't have that. And so what we did, what I've discovered over the years, is there's this magical thing called chocolate hummus. I know when you first hear that, you're like, what? But it's actually pretty tasty. We've used it in a lot of recipes and stuff. And so what we did is that entire crew, to really safeguard against any accidental, because Nutella and chocolate hummus can look very, very similar if you were to hold them up to each other. And we wanted to be really careful, really mindful that we did not have any accidental swaps. So what we did is we gave my daughter's entire crew chocolate hummus. The kids had no idea. They didn't know that it was chocolate hummus and they were getting something different. They enjoyed it, dipped their strawberries in it, and nobody was the wiser to it. So it didn't make anyone feel left out or singled out because it was different, and they enjoyed that snack. So something that is so cool about Crave VBS is the food visuals are, that's the way that we create the environment, but really it's the vehicle for what is really going on at Crave VBS. And what's really going on at Crave VBS is kids are discovering these nourishing, like soul nourishing, spiritually nourishing things that Jesus gives us. And that's what kids were walking away with. And it's like when we've trekked up Everest or gone through a rainforest, or we've hung out in this amazing maker factory or lab in years past. Those were the environments, those were the vehicles then of what was really going on at those VBSs and what kids were walking away with there. They're walking away with those transformative truths rooted in God's word. And it's the same with Crave VBS. So while you see a very food forward visual theme, and we tap into it in the ways that we explore those things that Jesus gives us and the way he nourishes us spiritually, it's not the point. Jesus is absolutely center stage. And that's what kids are going to be walking away with. If you've been with us for a few years or many, all those things that you've come to count on, those typical rhythms that you have seen over the years that draw kids toward a friendship with Jesus, that's in Crave. That's the heart of Crave. That's the meat of it. And you'll see that immediately too once you get those kids engaged.